I think that Roe versus Wade has been overturned, even though the court has reaffirmed it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you say that.
Well, you know, they can say one thing, but if indeed what they do is take away the fundamental access to abortion services, which is what they've done, then they've overturned Roe versus Wade.
What access have they taken away? They've simply said that parents have the right to be involved in their children's decision, and it gives the women the right to know all the information before they decide to have an abortion.
Well, of course, what we feel is that the decision is very patronizing. What they've done is they've said that women have to go see the doctor on one day and then return to the doctor on a second day after waiting for 24 hours, as if women hadn't already waited and hadn't already tossed and turned with this decision prior to going to the physician.
Well, there's some information that they can only receive from their physician, such as risks or complications that may occur from the abortion or from childbirth, and maybe physiological information about the child. So this is really very moderate type of regulations that's common sense and that we see with any other medical procedure that we'd undergo.
Now, there were really 4 planks to the Pennsylvania law, and the Supreme Court upheld 3 of them, and they decided not to go with informing the husband of a woman's choice to abort a child. Did that surprise you, Michaeline?
Frankly, it did not. We knew that Sandra Day O'Connor had a problem with that. I find it to be unfortunate because this was a notification, not a consent, just saying that the woman would have to tell her husband if she were having an abortion, and that would seem to strengthen marital relations.
Once again, we don't look to the government to legislate morality, both in terms of the teenage consent and teenage notification as well as the spousal consent. We know that 95% of women talk to their parents if they're making this decision, and women talk to their husbands when they're making this decision. You don't need someone to legislate that into your living room or into your bedroom.
What impact is today's Supreme Court ruling going to have on California? I understand that it's going to open the door for other states to restrict abortion somewhat, but what will it do for California women? Michaeline?
With the makeup of our current legislature, it doesn't appear that much will change. Maybe there will be a change in November. Maybe we can have people coming together at least for informed consent so that women will have the right to know.
Ashley?
I think what's clear is that the pro-choice community is going to rally around this issue and make sure that we vote anti-choice people out of office and pro-choice people into office. I also am a college teacher, and I can tell you that young women who have considered this to be a fundamental right are now realizing that there's a threat to that right, and they will not stand for it.
We're just now hearing about this Freedom of Choice Act that's starting to get a lot of publicity. What's that all about?
Well, what that's about is leaving it a fundamental right from the Congress, saying that it doesn't matter where in this geographical state of the United States you live, you will have the right to choose, and the federal government is not going to ever be able to take that away from you again.
The Freedom of Choice Act is a very extreme bill that goes even farther than Roe versus Wade. It would invalidate parental consent legislation, it would invalidate informed consent legislation, and it appears that it would legalize abortion unrestricted all 9 months. And I think the American people are appalled by that, and when they learn the true nature, it will be defeated.
Michaeline, are you upset with Sandra Day O'Connor?
I'm not necessarily upset with Sandra Day O'Connor. Of course, we're disappointed overall that we obviously don't have enough votes to send abortion back to the states to make that decision.
Okay, it seems as though Justice O'Connor has become perhaps somewhat an ally of yours. Would you agree with that analysis?
I think what we're seeing is that this court is so conservative that when people move away from the most conservative standpoint, that we then start calling Sandra Day O'Connor and even Justice Souter today moderate conservatives, even though under other circumstances we might call them conservatives.
You have a personal stake in this. Could you explain to us what that is?
Well, I think as some people know, I'm 7 months pregnant myself, and I feel very strongly as a pregnant woman that this choice is mine. It's mine to make. I also, as the director of a community clinic where we counsel people about all of the options that are available to them, want women to be clear about the fact that in California abortion remains legal today and that they can get the information they need to exercise their choice.
And you made a personal choice before this pregnancy as well. Do you want to talk about that? Or?
I sure did. In the past, I made the decision to have an abortion, and I was supported in that decision by family and friends who are close to me, who have supported me equally in my decision to continue this pregnancy.
All right. Well, we're going to be hearing much more about this before the election time in November. I thank you, Ashley Phillips, for joining us. Michael Jenkins, we'll be seeing you again, I'm sure.
Thank you.
All right, so our earthquake.
Yes, lovely. Well, later.